I took these photographs during COVID and post the George Floyd lynching. The name of the exhibit was Chalk That Talk, and it was done by the Black Student Union of the Fashion Institute of Technology. And they said that it was their response to the history of injustices against the Black community. Within the Black community, people tend to elevate one type of resistance over the others. And one of the type that is usually elevated is violence. So other ways of responding that the ancestors used by trickery and by sometimes appearing to acquiesce to the master, Mrs., those are frowned upon. But the truth is that it takes all types of resistance, and it took all types of resistance to have the outcome that we're now free and we're now able to aspire to thrive, which brought to memory a story I read in the diary of Thomas Thistlewood. And again, he's a slave driver, a poor white man who was managing the plantation of a wealthy landowner who was still residing in England while Thomas was in Jamaica. So Thomas decided, and I don't remember all the details, but he didn't give provisions to the enslaved people. So one of the enslaved men, he decided he was going to go and farm his plot, his little provision plot, instead of going to work as for the enslaver. This was upsetting to Thomas, and he tried to get the man to stop. The man would not stop, and the altercation got violent, and the man was trying to chop Thomas. And unfortunately, or fortunately, the weapon, the machete, was covered in mud, so it wasn't sharp enough to cause real damage. It did in fact cause pain, but not damage. And not far away, there were also other enslaved people watching, and they did not intervene. Part of the reason they might not have intervened was that Thomas was a very cruel man. He made one of a contraption to punish enslaved people, in which he would put feces in their mouth and then use the contraption to close their mouth as a way of punishing them. So yeah, we understand how many options did they have, and they couldn't run away somewhere else. All of the island was for slavery, except for maroon cockpit areas where they could not have found easily. So when the case was taken to court, Thomas brought the charges against the man. There's a difference in Jamaica, though, because Thomas was actually bringing the case against the rich landowner in England, because the man was in fact treated as property. So the law was on the side of the enslaved person. So other enslaved people came in who Thomas thought were going to be witnesses, and they all claimed to not have seen what took place. And of course, we know they saw. And part of it is hilarious to me, because knowing how Jamaicans are and Black people in general, that we like to pantomime and make fun. So I can imagine after the case how they made fun of how that man used that machete to beat up Thomas. So it was a proud moment, perhaps as proud as African American and the entire world was about the Alabama brawl, where the folding chairs were used as weapons. But yes, I digress. So my whole point is this, that in a battle like fighting against anti-Blackness, you have to have a toolkit with many different tools inside for you to resist. You can't just be using the same things. One of the tools I refuse to have in my toolkit is initiating vengeance or violence against others, because it's violence, initiating violence that is not done in self-defense is the lowest vibration of humanity, and I don't want to go there as a human being. So yes, so that's, for me, it's something to think about, that resistance thriving can be resistance. Living a good life can be resistance. Caring for your health can be resistance. So again, thank you for listening. You can subscribe to the channel, you can like, and I would love a comment. Thank you.